Welcome to another episode of Yoga Biz Camp. This is a little bit of a diversion from our regular podcast programming. This is a 4-minute excerpt from my upcoming episode of Yoga Biz Camp with studio owner Lisa from YogaPod Tucson. Since Mental Health Awareness Month, she bravely shared her story with her audience and my podcast.
I had dabbled in yoga here and there throughout my life, but back in 2009, I got very sick and I ended up in ICU for a couple of weeks. I had basically worked myself sick and hadn't realized at the time the mind-body connection. My particular is anxiety and clinical depression. So it's that feeling of hopelessness and you're not enough and you're not going to be able to dig yourself out, but you have to put on a face and make it okay for everybody else around you. People who worked with me in the past will probably be shocked to hear that because I always had a face on. It was real. And so after that, I said, what am I going to do? And my daughters actually took me to a hot yoga studio in town, and I instantly fell in love because I felt like, oh my gosh, I can do this and I feel great. And my monkey mind is slowing down. And then I started paying attention to this. And still at that point, I was still very private about my own personal life and my work life. Yoga changed my life, helped me slow down my mind, helped me realize I'm not alone in this journey and it's okay to have a mental illness and still be successful. They're not mutually exclusive. And so I was able in my job to travel the world and visit yoga studios around the world. And I curated what is the perfect yoga experience. And it's one where someone comes in and they immediately feel welcome. They don't have to worry about a thing. They can just focus on themselves. And it's also opened up in me the courage to talk about mental illness and how I struggled with it for so long. I was ashamed, felt I would be viewed as less than or weak. And as we have brought this studio to life, there's so many people who have come to us with similar stories. And so I feel this is way outside my comfort zone to even talk about this in such a public forum, but I feel like I have a story to share that we don't have to hide. And just because you can't see an illness doesn't mean it's not there and it's not real. It's not something for me that goes away. So I have to manage it all the time. And making people feel like they're not alone is a huge part of our community. And it's okay to talk about it.
Oh, thank you, Lisa, so much for sharing your story. For the full episode, that'll be coming out shortly. And I just really want to thank her because I know it was a big deal for her to open up like that. But since then, she posted it on Instagram and it went out by email to the studio audience. And the overwhelming amount of support and comments and love and appreciation for her bravery and rawness is just incredible. So thank you again, Lisa.